both a Washingtonian and as a filmmaker in the state of Washington, one of the things that I like to do is show support in any way that I can for the state's amazing film community. So one of the ways that I would like to show my support for film in Washington is to review a movie that was made in Washington and review it right here on this channel. And so the Made in Washington movie that I would like to review today just became available on DVD. That film is called The Hollow One. I first saw this film, The Hollow One, at the Seattle International Film Festival, or SIFF, back in May of 2015, because Kate Alden, the actress who plays Rachel, one of the leads in the film, is a friend of mine who I've known since 2014 when I was a PA on a film that she was a lead in called The Device, in which she co-starred with David S. Hogan and Angela DeMarco, Jennifer DeMarco's sister. I also already knew of the film's cinematographer, Connor Hare, because I almost got to work on a short film that he was the cinematographer on back in 2009, but I have been following his work ever since then. So what is The Hollow One about? Well, in the film, Kate plays Rachel, a woman who went down an emotionally destructive path after the sudden tragic death of her mother, and her father then suddenly and mysteriously forced her and her younger sister, played by Chelsea Farthing, to leave their home, which was located in an isolated coastal community. Now 2 years later, they return home to find their father missing and the community mysteriously abandoned. From there, bad and horrific things are bound to happen. This film does fall into horror movie cliche territory, unfortunately, like when everyone has returned to the house, there's blood everywhere, nobody anywhere, creepy photos, a bloody knife, people behaving like zombies, strange voices, and strange visions. One of the characters suggests leaving, and it's like, yay, someone in a horror movie who is actually making a smart decision. But then another character insists on staying, and then that first character is like, okay, let me help. Cell phone reception is bad out where they are, and the landline is also out of order. That first character then decides to leave the house and go find help, but the other characters insist on staying, and he accepts it. If I was one of only 3 people there, I wouldn't leave the other 2 people there while going to look for a police station or for a phone to call the cops. I wouldn't leave without them, especially when already knowing that things are pretty fucked up in the area around the house and in the community itself. Not just the father's house, but the neighbor's house too, even the damn gas station. I would want to get as far away from that area as I could and take the other 2 people with me. I don't know if the reason for the characters not leaving the property was just a budget reason, like very little money or no money at all for additional locations. With much of the film confined to this single location, it feels as if many moments that take place there are just stretched out so much so that the film could be 90 minutes long, which it is. Films that are confined to a single location can work very well, but this one is kind of so... Much of the film also centers around this prehistoric metal object, which ends up being the cause of the horrors that occur, including this foggy black ghost with a monstrous voice that continually haunts Kate's character. And even though the metal object comes in the mail with a lot of papers and drawings explaining what it is and how it works, which all serve for moments of so-called explanation by one or more of the characters, you still never really get what it is and why it functions the way it does and what its purpose is. The same can be said about that foggy black ghost thing. Having it here forces the film to include some cheesy CGI as well. And along with most of what it says throughout the film, you're kind of left wondering what the hell all of this is about. Kate as Rachel, Chelsea Farthing as Rachel's younger sister Anna, and Jesse James as Rachel's ex-boyfriend Matt are all very good, but some of the moments of the writing of their characters doesn't help. All 3 of these characters don't always think clearly. Rachel, Kate's character, for example, is already kind of reckless at the beginning of the film, even before she loses her mother, which is what sends her into a reckless life. There's also a big reveal / plot twist all involving Kate's character, her mother's death, and her boyfriend like 2/3 of the way through the film that's also kind of cheap. And there's also some of the good old horror movie dream sequences as well. Still, this film is really well shot and atmospheric. Writer-director Nathan Hendrickson and Connor, with his cinematography, do get the mood, mystery, atmosphere, and old-fashioned horror look that they were going for absolutely right. That, along with the performances from the 3 leads for the most part, and from everyone else who has a speaking part in the film, like Tony DePay as the girl's father, and Tonya Skook as their mother, and the ghost of their mother, save this movie from being one of the worst of its kind. Thank you so much for watching, and there will be more because Lehtonen's Home Theater is always showing.